Starting at just $530, you wouldn't really expect the OnePlus 6 to have a whole lot of reasons on why it could be considered better than the $1,000 iPhone 10. You would think that okay, it's cheaper and that's its main advantage. Yet, here we are today, not with 5, not even with 10, but 25 reasons on why it could be considered better. Now, of course, the iPhone 10 is still a $1,000 smartphone, okay? So obviously, there's gonna be a bunch of strong reasons on why someone would want to spend the extra money and go with it instead. And I'll be listing 25 of those reasons to keep things nice and fair at the end of this video. But the main focus here is going to be on the OnePlus 6 and on the reasons why it could be considered better than a phone that costs nearly twice as much. Let's get right into it. Glass breaks, but with Rhino Shield, your phone doesn't have to. Big thanks to Rhino Shield for sponsoring today's video and for hooking you guys up with a special discount on both their Crash Guard case, which protects your phone from drops of at least 11 feet without hiding its beauty, and on their Solid Suit case, which with Rhino Shield's focus on Android phones is finally coming to the OnePlus 6. Click on the link down below and make sure you use offer code PhoneBuff to get your discount. Reason number 1. Price. So we already touched on it, but it's worth repeating. The OnePlus 6 is a lot cheaper than the iPhone 10, which means one of two things. You can either A, keep that extra $470 in the bank, or B, spend the same $1,000, but instead of getting just a phone, you can get a phone, a smart speaker, a smart watch, and even Apple's own AirPods to level up your whole tech game. 2. Bigger screen. The OnePlus 6 has a 6.2-inch display compared to the 5.8-inch screen on the iPhone, which makes doing things from scrolling through Instagram to playing games or watching videos just that much more enjoyable. 3. Faster performance. As of right now, the OnePlus 6 is the fastest smartphone we've ever tested, with it being able to easily outperform the iPhone 10 in our tests, thanks largely to its massive amount of RAM, which allows it to keep more apps open and ready to go for you when you need them. 4. Split screen multitasking. Taking advantage of its bigger screen and all that extra RAM, the OnePlus 6 lets you run 2 apps on the screen at the same time for a better multitasking experience. Reason number 5. Fast charging adapter. Unlike the $1,000 iPhone 10, the OnePlus 6 actually comes with a fast charging adapter in the box, something that Apple wants to charge you an extra $70 for. 6. Faster fast charging. Now, even if you do spend the extra money to buy the adapter and the cable that you need to get fast charging on the iPhone, it's still a slower version of fast charging compared to the OnePlus, with the OnePlus 6 getting a 60% charge in 30 minutes compared to a 50% charge on the iPhone 10. 7. Fingerprint scanner. The fingerprint scanner on the OnePlus 6 lets you unlock your phone a lot faster than you can with Face ID on the iPhone 10, which, considering that you unlock your phone over 80 times a day, over the course of a year or two, it can make a really big difference. 8. Headphone jack. Unlike the iPhone 10, the OnePlus 6 still has a headphone jack, meaning you won't have to ditch your fancy headphones or carry around an adapter. 9. Invisible notch. Love it or hate it, both of these phones have a notch, but at least with the OnePlus 6, you actually have the option to hide the notch if you want to, while still having the status bar take advantage of the extra screen real estate. Reason number 10. Battery percentage icon. Speaking of the status bar, on the OnePlus 6, you can actually see what your battery percentage is with just a glance, whereas due to the notch and the smaller screen on the iPhone 10, you have to swipe down Control Center every time. 11. App Locker. The OnePlus 6 has a feature called App Locker that allows you to password protect any app of your choosing to give you an extra layer of privacy on your phone. 12. Screen off gestures. With gestures, the OnePlus 6 lets you take quick actions on the phone when the screen is off. For example, swiping on the screen with 2 fingers can quickly pause or play your music. And with 5 other completely customizable options, you can set things like drawing an S to jump straight into the selfie cam, drawing a V to toggle the flashlights, or drawing an O to launch into Instagram. 13. Quick camera launch. With the double press of the power button from anywhere or any app, you can quickly launch into the camera so you won't have to fumble around looking for the camera icon during one of those Kodak moments. 14. File Manager. On the OnePlus 6, you actually get a real file manager compared to the limited one that you get on the iPhone, which not only allows you to manage the folders and files on your phone like you would on a computer, but you can also drag and drop content from your phone onto your computer when you connect it, allowing the phone to essentially double as a USB flash drive. Reason number 15. Navigation buttons. While the OnePlus 6 does have an option to switch to a gesture-based navigation style like on the iPhone X, it still comes with a standard option of buttons for back, home, and recents, which in addition to just being more familiar to Android users, the buttons also come with the advantage of being customizable. So you can set things like a long press of the back button to turn off and lock the screen, or have a double tap of the home button bring down Notification Center. 16. Multiple users. With support for multiple users, you can create a completely separate user account for someone like your kid. So you can install the apps and games that your kid wants on their own profile and keep all of their stuff separate from your profile. So that way you can just hand them your phone without having to worry about them getting into any of your emails or texts, and you can even prevent them from making phone calls. 17. Default apps. You can set your own default applications on the OnePlus 6, allowing you to permanently replace a system app with any app of your choosing. For example, if you decide that you'd rather use Firefox as your main browser instead of Chrome, well, on the OnePlus 6, you can do that, whereas on the iPhone, Apple doesn't really let stuff like that fly. 18. LED notifications. When your screen is off and you have a missed notification, the iPhone doesn't really do anything to let you know. But on the OnePlus 6, you have a physical LED light that'll blink to let you know if you missed something with just a glance. 19. Parallel apps. With the Parallel Apps feature, you can log into multiple accounts for apps like Facebook, Instagram, Skype, and Snapchat, which could be useful if you use one account for like personal use and one account that you use only for work. Reason number 20. Dual SIM. Speaking of work, with the dual SIM card option, you can have two separate phone numbers on the OnePlus 6, whether it's one for work and one for personal, or for situations when you're traveling and you just want to pop in a local SIM card. 21. Gaming mode. With gaming mode on the OnePlus 6, you can optimize your gaming experience by not only blocking those annoying notifications, but also boosting your network speed by limiting the usage of the network by your other apps. 22. Alert slider. The OnePlus 6 is one of the few Android smartphones that have a vibrate switch like the iPhone has had since day one. But OnePlus actually took it a step further by including not just the option to switch between ring and vibrate, but also having the option for complete silence with media volume muted and with the vibrations disabled. 23.
Slow motion.
Just like on the iPhone X, the OnePlus 6 can record 240 FPS slow motion video at 1080p. But unlike the iPhone, the OnePlus 6 can record even slower slow motion with an option to record video at 480 frames per second at 720p. 24. Dark mode. The OnePlus 6 has a dark theme that turns the UI in most system apps completely black, which is not only easier on your eyes, especially at night, but it can also save some battery life due to the AMOLED display. And no, I'm not going to count the smart invert option on the iPhone X as a dark mode, since it makes all of the other apps just look weird. And finally, reason number 25. Free accessories. The OnePlus 6 comes with a screen protector factory pre-installed straight out of the box, and as if that weren't enough, OnePlus also includes a case in the box. Sure, the case is kind of flimsy and probably doesn't offer the best protection out there, but hey, it's free and at the very least, it's nice to have as a backup option. And if you want more solid protection, you can go with something like the Rhino Shield, which can protect from drops of at least 11 feet. Okay, so there you have it. Those are 25 reasons why the OnePlus 6 could be considered better than the iPhone X. Of course, like I said in the beginning, there are still some really strong reasons on why you'd want to spend the extra money to go with the iPhone X instead. Some of my personal favorites are the dual speakers, which give you both richer and fuller sound, 3D touch, which makes the process of editing text and interfacing with the phone easier, software updates that come not only more frequently, but also for many years longer, the fact that iOS tends to get new apps first and sometimes even better versions of those apps, and then of course the camera, which generally produces better photos and videos than the OnePlus 6. Okay, so that is it for me in this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.